Yeah, thanks for giving me a signal report there. Yeah, it's an Audio-Technica 2020. It's a really good-sized unit. It looks like a pretty big capsule in there, about a 1-inch diameter capsule through the screen I see there. And yeah, last summer I picked up a Shure M367 preamp. A guy had it out at the Rochester Hamfest. So that gives me the 48 volts and a little bit of limiting, I think it does. That's what I'm using with the mic. And then I made a cable XLR to the Ranger. Now the Ranger has a 4-pin plug. It used to have a 2-pin, but I made it 4-pin to be compatible with a lot of over-the-counter microphones. They'll have a separate PTT and a separate audio. That also cut some of the hum when I did that. So anyway, it's probably a little much to try to switch mics now. So anyway, I'll just stick with the Audio-Technica because conditions are not that great that you would be hearing me very well anyway. So yeah, I just want to say hello here, and you're really coming in great into Buffalo at times. It's starting to, the van is starting to shift now. So I will say 7-3 for now, but I appreciate the signal reports. And Rob, I can hear Rob through the noise, and 7-3 to Rob also. And I'll turn it back to you, Paul. This is WA2OFC.
Okay, Jim. WA2OFC. Yeah, the band tends to want to take a nap right about now. I notice this almost every day, between 11 and about 1. Conditions change, signals go down, and nothing comes up. And it's time to get lunch, you know, that sort of thing. WA2OFC, WA3, VJB for a final. Very good. Yeah, I actually got a decent recording of it. And I'm not noticing the hum that I think you expressed concern about when you first checked in. It's way down. And yeah, I know that Shure mixer. It's a good mixer, mic preamp and mixer. I think that's the last of their of that line. The M67 dates back to the early 1960s, and it had germanium transistors in the thing. So they created a lot of circuit hiss. And the advisory that came with the mixer was to run the individual pots up high, and the master pot at the minimum it took to get the right level. And what this did is the overall amplifying transistor in the thing had less work to do, less gain to include than the individual channel. So the noise figure was better if you got in the habit of running it that way. Channels hot, master low. I don't know if that's still the case for the M367 or not. They might have switched to some other kind of semiconductor in there, but I know for those old ones that lasted forever. I mean, they left them on in applications I was familiar with for years, and they still played, you know. That's a good mixer, and of course, you know, with the phantom power built in, that's nice. I would caution you not to rely that much on the peak limiter. I think it's a nasty sort of peak limiter. You're going to want to ride your pot more than count on that limiter. There are cleaner ways to do that. We were talking about that Max audio processor. I don't know, you know, you probably don't want to drop $400, but that's been the thing for folks like yourself who want louder, better audio that's nice enough to listen to for a long period of time. And I got a couple of guys in the hobby who have created such a device that I managed to do a test drive of. There's a review of it on eham.net. The Max audio processor, if you wanted to read up about it. There's a YouTube video of myself running it through its paces. So if you ever wanted to move on to something after the Shure and before the Ranger, then I would recommend it just from my own experiences. So I'm going to look you up on the Zed, see if there's a email address there for you, and I'll send this off and you can hear for yourself. And look for you again. I'm going to go stoke the fireplace here. Hope it warms up for yourself beyond 15 degrees today. We're supposed to get quite a rainstorm tomorrow, starting tonight, but into tomorrow all day. I'm predicting as much as 2 inches of rain, so there will be puddles where there aren't usually puddles here. Okay, son, thank you for the contact from Buffalo this morning. WA2OFC on the Ranger, WA3VJB on the Super Senior.
Okay, Paul, very good. Yeah, my call at ARRL.net. My call at ARRL.net will do it, Paul. And, yeah, that'd be great to hear it. I have done tests here on dummy load with another radio just to see how it looked, you know. And another thing I got at a half past last summer was a bidirectional coupler made by Bird. So you run your power through one set of connectors, and then the other set gives you a minus 30 dB signal that you can feed into a scope, and boy, that gives you a nice display on the scope of your output waveform, you know. But anyway, another mic I found that somebody gave me was a Electrovoice. I think it's a V1, and it's a big. It's one of those big diamond-shaped screen units with a ribbon velocity, and I've been playing around with that one. I might try putting that one on one of these days. So we'll see what that does. Although I think the condenser ones are better, you know. So you have a great morning there, Paul. Thanks for the signal report. I'll say goodbye to the other guys. I'm going to burn up some lunch as well. 7-3 from Buffalo, New York. This is WA2OFC.
All right, Jim, my pleasure. I'll send that off here as soon as I upload it to YouTube. You'll be able to hear it. Yeah, the V1. I think I've seen them. They've become popular with podcasters and people who do a lot of video calls. It's a modern mic. I have an old, probably a 40-year-old Electrovoice dynamic, known as an RE16 that I'm running here. And it's got a nice frequency response. And it weighs enough that it can fit on a fairly lightweight OXO arm that extends across the operating desk. So this is my stealth operating station in the house. As you heard us discussing there, it's not supposed to be referred to as an operating position. No. Get me in trouble. And, yeah, the scope coupler, that sounds great. Somebody put one of those in a Merch wire tuner that I used to use on this transmitter. It might be something as simple as a little gimmick coil is enough that a scope pickup can, use. But, man, yeah, it's nice to see that waveform on there. Don K4KYV insists on using a monitor scope when he's on the air, because to not do so, in his view, is to be like driving at night without your headlights on. I agree. And while I'm in the house without a scope, yeah, I hear you, but I'm still making a transmission. Just a minute. And I usually leave it on and preset everything and then come out to back to the house to run remote. So I think everything's in order. Thanks for the nice QSO. There's somebody checked in underneath us there. We'll see who that is, and hope you have a good lunch. We'll look for you again, Jim. WA2OFC and a braking station, WA3VJB.
Number 4, Delta Juliet.
November 2, Delta Juliet from WA3VJB. How copy?
Yeah, almost. November 4, Delta Juliet. Just wanted to say hello to you, Paul. I got the various food testers to do some food checking. So I got a whole bunch of work I got to get doing to some of the old food jobs got over.
Oh, very good, yeah. I didn't realize you were in there. I don't know what's happened to your audio. It's extremely muffled. It's not the clarity that we obtained here the last time we talked from Williamsburg. DJ, WA3VJB. What did you